Let's talk about the DJI Action 2 remote control extension rod. Now, having a remote control when you're doing video for your cameras is impressive. They never made a remote control for the DJI 3s, and neither did anybody from China. Probably has something to do with the rights. But you had a lot of people saying the DJI Action 2 remote control, which is this here, would work with the Osmo DJI 3's action. They also say it works with the DJI Action 4, which is the new camera that just came out. So, being I have two DJI 3s and I'm shooting this on a DJI 1, it does not work with the DJI 1 at all. It does not connect. So, I don't know how the video quality is going to be with the DJI 1, but this is the best I can do. Now, will this DJI Action 2 remote control work with the Action 3s? And if it works with the Action 3s, it'll work with the Action 4. So this thing here, the so-called selfie stick, it's garbage. It's actually too light, too small to run these cameras, especially in these heavy cages. So literally, if I turn one camera on, and we're going to be pointing at the ceiling, and I do a connection with this record button, okay? And then it's going to pair up with the camera. And it pairs up very quickly. The DJI Action 2 remote control pairs up very, very quickly. And then it starts to count down once it has connected. You have to click it again to say, okay, we got it. We're good to go. So let's hit record. Now, you'll see it recording. You'll see it blinking. So with one camera, when you hit record, it works great. All right. We'll hit the record to stop. And with one camera, the record stops perfectly fine. That is awesome. All right. Let's turn on camera 2. All right. And then we're going to turn this off. So now we've got two cameras on, and we want to connect to both. The DJI Action 2 remote control is supposed to be able to connect to up to 8 cameras, is what they claim. It's connected to 2, it's flashing, it's waiting for me to acknowledge we're good to go, and we're good to go. So we've got 2 DJI Action 3 cameras sitting here, and if it was a 4, it would do the same thing. We're going to hit record. And what do we got going here? We actually have both cameras recording at the same time. Awesome. I mean, just awesome. You could set up one camera outside the tent, recording the outside of the tent. I could have another camera inside that I'm vlogging to, and now I've got some B-roll. I mean, it's just really cool, right? But what happens when I go to turn it off? It tries, but it comes back with an error, and I'm not sure you can see it. Let me try it again. Get it a little higher maybe. And it's coming back with error on 1 and 2. We can't shut them off. That's all there is to it. Now, I have emailed DJI, and that information, when they email me back, I will put it in the description box. But I think it needs a software upgrade for it to fix this. So if I had DJI Action 4 camera, the new one that just came out, then it would probably do the same thing. When you start adding more than 2 cameras, the recording is not going to stop. Now, there is a trick I came up with, okay? And here's my trick. Basically, I turn this off. All right, so that turns off, so our DJI Action 2 remote control is off now. Let's say this camera is the camera that I'm recording with and vlogging with inside the tent, right? Well, I can hand turn this one off, right? This one's outside the tent. You know, it's a mile away, right? So then I can turn this on, and then what's going to happen is it's going to try and pair up. It's going to look for a camera. Now, when it finds one, I say, okay, we're good to go. Thanks for pairing up. Now, remember, this one's recording the whole time. right? If I actually click it now, oh, we got an error. Hang on. I'm going to do it again. No, it's not letting me. It actually let me do it before. So let me turn it off again. Let me turn it back on again. This actually worked before. It says it's paired up. It says it's recording because it's blinking. Okay. Now. And now it stopped. So the first time it didn't kick. Second time I had to restart it and then it worked. So maybe I just pushed buttons too quickly. But as you can see, I can do two cameras. So as long as I turn one off. It will only turn off one camera. It will not turn off all your cameras. And that really sucks. Like with the DJI Action 4, they have a remote you can buy. It does, and it has to connect to GPS, and you can overlay maps, but you have to do it with the app. I mean, it's not something I want. I just want something that automatically connects to the DJI 3 and the DJI 4, and I can record and shut off all three cameras. So now I could have three different camera angles, hit record, get all my angles in one shot, turn record off. Now, the other reason somebody would want to have a DJI Action 2 remote is a lot of times when you set up your camera on a tripod, a lot of times your tripod shakes and it jimmies around while you're trying to set it up. And then once you get it set up and it's not moving anymore, it is much easier to hit the DJI Action 2 remote to start recording than it is to push the button on top. Because when you go to push the button on top, the camera starts to jiggle all over the place, is what it does. So that's kind of a pain. So you can record up to 8 cameras from what I'm seeing, but they're not all going to stop. So literally you could set up your cameras for your shots, hit the record button, they'll all kick off and start recording the DJI Action 3 and the DJI Action 4, but they're not going to stop recording. So you're going to have to go to each camera and turn each camera off. Still not a super pain, but it would be nice if this DJI Action 2 remote control actually worked. So there's one little flaw in this thing, and it's not cheap. It's not cheap at all. When you buy it, you can't even buy the remote without this selfie stick. On eBay, I've seen them for $59 where I got it, and on DJI, they want $75. And I don't even need this thing. This thing will not hold these cages whatsoever. So it's something to really consider if you're deciding you want a remote. Now, the reason I never bought the DJI 4 remote is because it doesn't work with the 3. And I have 2 3s. So I'm trying to get this remote to work with my 3s, and I do plan to buy a DJI 4 shortly. And then I'll have the DJI 4 for vlogging because it has the bigger sensor. And I could use these 2 cameras for, different shots from different things. And it would just be really cool if this thing actually turned off when you had all 3 connected. But I can deal with 2. I can. If it comes down to it. I mean, it's better than having nothing, but I can deal with 2 cameras to have 2 shots from 2 different angles. And I'm happy with that. But it would really be nice to see DJI fix this. And like I said, I have emailed them. I talked to them about it. I'm waiting for emails back. When they reply to me, I'll put them in the description box. But so you know how this DJI Action 2 works, okay? You can record up to 8 cameras, but you cannot shut off 8 cameras. You can shut off 2 cameras with a little bit more control, but you're not going to do it with 3. And that's something to really consider before you start spending money on different remotes they have. And the DJI 4 remote does not work with the DJI 3 cameras. That's something to consider too. Why they did that, I'll never know. Probably something to do with the GPS and the overlays and everything else. I just want a basic remote to work. That's it. China hasn't made one because I don't think they've released the rights to do it. So pretty much you're stuck with the DJI Action 2 remote if you want something to record on up to 8 cameras, but it will not shut them off, or up to 2 that you can control with shut off. I hope that makes sense. And anyhow, I'll catch you guys on the next one. And if you're thinking about buying that DJI Action 2, think about this video. Catch you later.